part two. As you can tell, we've got a little bit of a change here. I realized in my last video I made a pretty rookie mistake, and I put my industry down here really close to where I had put my residence and my commercial, and I knew my Sims just weren't going to be happy with that. So what I did was I went ahead and I built a little bridge up to the top here, and I started putting in my industry, or not my industry, my commercial and my resident areas up here, and building it out. You notice that a lot of them are very, very large, and then I've gone ahead and added, the low rent road, um, which is the low density paved street right there. I went ahead and added that to a couple of them, and I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the rest of the dirt roads. You just come over here and click this little arrow button that's underneath the different ways that you can draw roads. Highlight it, pick the density that you want to make it. Knock that out real quick, and what that does is it lets more Sims drive through there, which allows more traffic, which allows more utilities, and eventually it's going to lead to larger buildings. Where before you could pick low, medium, or high residence, commercial, or industry. This time it's all the zones are one type, and then it's the different kind of roads that depend on how big your area is going to grow up. One of the ways that I want to show you that you can fix a mistake, if you guys make a mistake, or if you just want to kind of push your city in a new direction, you'll notice that I have this all zone for industry. If you come over here in the left hand corner, hit the pause button, you'll get this red frame around the top of it. You can come over here to where it says D zone. It has a little X and over the yellow, the green, and the blue. Click that, and you can actually erase what you've done in there, and then you can come over here to the very right and get the bulldoze, and then you can bulldoze that area. It's a quick way. That way, while you're doing it, you don't have to worry about stuff growing back up in where you're trying to put stuff. You don't have to worry about money coming out. So we'll just unpause that and then pop out of this menu and kind of fix it so we have a better 3D view. What I want to go over is placement of your like your clinics and your fire department and your police department. You want to make sure that where you place them, they're going to reach the largest part of your city. You'll notice that right now this is blinking red. If you'll go in here, we should get a guy that says there's a fire in your city and you have no trucks. So we'll go ahead and lay the fire truck. It's $20,000. We've got $31,000 in the bank. We'll go ahead and pick this bad guy up, bring him over here. The reason I'm putting it here is because you notice that it has plenty of green for this, and then as I add more fire trucks to it, he'll be able to come down here and fight fires in my industry area as well. If you remember before, when we put in our town hall, I told you that there were upgrades. So if you go in here and look where the little paintbrush and the hammer are, you'll see that it gets a bell or it gets an extra building. And even though we can't afford it, I can kind of show you how you need room to put these things out, because you can put them on the little teardrops. But say if I had put this over in the corner, if I had put my fire department in the corner, I may not be able to put it on either side, or maybe just one side. So it's best when you're putting out your public buildings or your city buildings to give them some room to breathe, so you can add extra to it. It's cheaper to add on to a public building versus building a brand new one. So we're going to go ahead and exit out, and we'll leave that there. It says all trucks are responding. A lot of the time when you first put them out, it'll say close, hiring. So we'll go over here. These little bubbles here, they'll give you little side missions. They're kind of like when you play Facebook games, you'll get missions and they'll put them on the side. So we'll click on that, and he says, we got this is actually from the DLC that comes with mine, because I pre-ordered. I think a lot of the folks that bought it early got it. So he's saying, I already have the 2,500 residents. I need to put down a Maxis Manor, which is Maxis Man. He's a superhero. But you'll notice it's right over here on the side of the page, a lot like a Facebook game. So you can click on that or hover over it, and it'll tell you what your next step is. Um, let's see. We'll go in here. I'll look at our taxes. I took out a bond earlier. I just kind of been playing with this. You can take out up to 3 bonds. All you do is you come in and it'll tell you, what bonds are available, and all it is a loan. And this one takes 173 out an hour, and I'm making a little over 1900 right now. So I'll go ahead and accept this, and it'll add it to my total. And if I don't want money to come out of it right away, go ahead and hit the pause button again, and then I can go into the menu and put down whatever I like, and I don't have to worry about if I'm in the negative. I keep going negative, which I'm not, so I can keep adding. It'll keep adding money to it. But I'm gonna come over here and grab a police department. Put that over here on the other side. And again, the reason is I want to make sure that it can cover the largest area as possible, because as your city gets bigger, there are going to be more demands for residential, and you don't want to have to take up space that you can put your residents in with other buildings if you could place your buildings in a better spot when you start. So we'll go ahead and put that in there. We'll go ahead and hit play, and that'll start dealing with your crime problems. I want to show you a little bit about how you can see how things are, or what things are going on. A lot of it's going to be gone over in the tutorial. If you guys get to this before you get to the game, to get a chance to look at the tutorial, this will help you out a little bit. And look like they actually want me to put in a garbage dump. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. A little bit off subject, but just go in here, pick the dump, and you'll see how it has those red boxes. That's where it wants to do an add-on, but it can't because there's not enough room. So I'm going to flip it around a little bit, and now it's got plenty of room so we can add on extra dumping areas and things of that nature. So we'll go ahead and pop that in, make them, and you notice it says closed, now hiring. So it's actually, the game's actually polling the residential areas to see if there's people that can drive down and work in that area. So we'll hop out of here. Back into just a regular mode, and then if you hop into your government area here, you can go over here and hit the smiley face, and it'll show you if your citizens are happy or not. I got one upset guy. He goes, "I'm leaving because this town is full of death." That's because I haven't put in a health clinic yet. So we're really just waiting on money to be able to do that. So that poor guy, I feel sorry for him, but I guess he's going to have to move out because our town's a little poor right now. So you can see how good they're, how happy they are. You can also see kind of where your building density is. Looks like a lot of it is right here in the commercial area, and then in the outlying residential. We've got a little bit going on down here. These industries have been here longer, so they've had a little more time to build up. And then you can go into the population, and you can see where the greatest amount of workers are actually in the town hall. You can see the people that are students, the people who are shoppers and whatnot. So you can see kind of a breakdown of what your city is doing. Down here you're going to see these 2 burnt out buildings, and that's because the fire department wasn't able to catch it in time. You don't have to worry about that. You just hit your bulldozer button, knock those guys out. You still got it zoned for industry, so in a minute here you'll start seeing construction kick up, and they're going to build new factories, and before you know it, your Sims will be back to work. So we'll go in here. Let's see, how much is a clinic? I believe they're 15, nope, 20. So we're still a little bit away from placing a clinic, and I don't want these videos to run too long. But you guys can kind of see you want to keep your industry far away from your residences, because who wants to live downwind from a stinky, smoke-filled air? So keep them away from that, and they'll be happy. Keep them with plenty of shops, so they have places to spend their money, and make sure that they have plenty of protection with their fire and the police. It's kind of basic stuff, just kind of if you look around your own town or city you live in, you're going to notice that there's going to be shops pretty close to your residence. There's going to be a fire department pretty close to where you live. That way, your house doesn't burn down. So just kind of keep that stuff in mind, or even if you want, try to lay out your town to match your SimCity to match your own town, so to see how well that plays out. But we'll go ahead and end this video and work on building it up a little bit, and then I can kind of show you some of the neater stuff that happens when it gets larger. But I appreciate you guys taking a look at this. If it's helpful, please let me know. If I'm rambling, please